What's up, YouTube? It's Schneebles here from Team DNP. First of all, thank you for checking out this video. Well, it finally happened. March 2017, we finally got our ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, I'd like to say it's a doozy. It's decent. We got a few good. Okay, Kirin, really. I don't know why Kirin was went from limited to forbidden. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just want to touch base on the cards that were affected. For the most part, nothing huge, nothing that will really change the game. I do think though that Imperial Order is going to become a staple. You can, quote me on that. That's going to happen. I was really excited here too that Imperial Order went from forbidden to limited, because I have a bunch from the Fair Servant collection that have been just lying around, and now I can finally use one. Could be fun to stop spells. Better than Anti-Spell Fragrance. Anyway, let's get into it. As you can see, not that many big changes here in the Forbidden list, other than Kirin going to Forbidden. Sorry, Magic Specters. Today I was going against this guy with he was running Toads with Kirin. I was going with Black Lesser Soldier. It was a horrible duel on my part, but I still won. But he used Kirin to kind of send stuff back to my hand, which, reminded me of, like, okay, Kirin is a good card. It's a good way to kind of, take care of things like that. But, yeah, anyway, that's one thing. Tyrant Neptune being forbidden, that's a little odd to me. I don't really have anything to say about that. I guess it makes sense. It's a decent effect. Super Poly, I wish kind of went to limited. That would have been great. Snatch Steal, Pot of Greed one day. But Vanity's Emptiness being hit. Sorry, all you anti-meta players out there. Afro Man, I know you've been running Vanities. That's kind of depressing, but I do believe that was a good hit. It prevents a lot of plays. It stalls a lot of decks. It helps a lot of decks. Definitely helps a lot more than most cards. It's a very powerful card, so being forbidden does make sense. However, do I think it was the correct card to be hit? I think there's other cards that could have been hit before. I think there's other cards in the forbidden list that could have come off instead. Card destruction maybe would be great someday in the near future, but as of now, okay, Vanity's going to forbidden is fine by me. It helps me out. I don't run it, so it's fine. Maxx going to limited from semi. I actually believe that Maxx should have gone. It should have just been off the list. I don't think Maxx is really that OP. It does change the game. Of course, it stalls your opponent if they're like, oh man, I don't want you to draw cards. They're not going to special summon. I usually just go ahead and do it anyway. I mean, I'm not one to be afraid of draw power with my opponent. I use Cup of Ace like an idiot, and you know how that works for me. But anyway, I don't know. Maxx going to 1 is a little odd to me as well. Rescue Cat being off the list is great. I don't know what deck I'll run Rescue Cat in. I don't really run anything with Beast. I might add it into my Ojama deck. That could be fun. But for the most part, that coming off the list does make sense. It isn't that OP. It's not really going to affect the meta too much. But Maxx might affect it. Vanities might affect the meta game. Brainiac coming off the list, that's pretty cool. Good for you, Glip Glop. I know you have a copy out there that you've been waiting to use, and I'm kind of excited to see you run it. I don't know what deck you'll run it in, but any of you out there, the ability of Brainiac to kind of clear the field is amazing. It's not the best card out there, so it makes sense to come off the list, but it has a good ability, and a lot of synchro decks can definitely utilize that. Brain Control, that's awesome. So I know that Afro Man was arguing, me, Mung, Afro Man, Loge, and Glip Glop were all talking about Brain Control, and Afro Man said that Enemy Controller is his version of Brain Control, and that tributing ability is a little bit better for him. Personally, I could care less. I'd rather pay those life points. Brain Control is great. That's awesome coming off the list. I run Archfiend, so Falling Down already does that for me, but having Brain Control, an extra card to do that, can be pretty fun in the game. Can kind of make lesser decks a little bit more viable. Moving on to Future Fusion. I don't know how many of you have a Future Fusion just lying around, but now it's time to kind of bust that guy out. You can definitely use it in some decks. I don't have any that I can use it in. I do have a few, but coming off the list makes sense as well. It's not some kind of OP card. It's like Super Polymerization, where you can use your opponent's card as fusions. But think about it, Invocation kind of allows that as well, and it's not on the list. So Future Fusion coming off is pretty good. And Imperial Order, that's the one, that the piece de resistance. That's a great card. Definitely going to become a staple. I will be running it in most decks, maybe all. Just no spells, you know. It makes the game a lot more raw, a lot more real, and it kind of can really affect some things. So then we got Wisdom Magician. Don't really have anything to say about that. Going on to semi. Zoodiac Rapier, that could stall some plays in zoos. I don't think it's going to really affect them too much. It's not going to hurt. Most people don't even, I mean, you run it at 3, of course, you want it at 3, but I don't think it's going to really ruin their deck. I don't think that Zoodiacs are going to be affected too much. They might be slowed down, if anything. Kaiju Slumber was a good hit. I do think it should have been limited. I ran it at 3. Now I have to go to 2. That's fine. I mean, it's still a great card. It clears the field. It does its job. And having it at 2 doesn't really slow me down. It's an anti-meta card that I use in emergency situations. So, yeah. And then Sangan coming off the list. So good for you, everybody who needs a searcher. Anyway, if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and check it out. Comment for more. This has been Schneebles checking out Team DNP. Come back.